Let's talk about how to fight a southpaw fighter. A southpaw fighter, very basically, is a fighter who has his left side back. Now, the left side fighter with left side back is a lot less common than the orthodox fighter. If I was fighting with my right side back and I'm right-handed, I'm considered an orthodox fighter. A southpaw fighter is going to be the same type of boxer, but with his left side back. So he's going to have his hands like this. So his main punches are going to be his left hand, his nice straight left hand. So he's used to fighting orthodox fighter much more than orthodox fighters are used to fighting southpaws. So he has a little bit of advantage that he's more accustomed to fighting someone of the opposite side forward than the orthodox fighter is. Let me demonstrate southpaw with an orthodox fighter. I'm going to be the orthodox fighter. Alex is going to be the southpaw fighter. So when he comes in like this, I want to try to be on the outside of that foot right there. So I don't want to get him to cross my left hand. So if he throws the right hand and he crosses me, he's going to be very vulnerable. So I want to try to keep it out this way. So when his right hand comes in, I can kind of keep over top this way. In fact, some of the shots I'm going to be looking for is going to be a wide left hook, see, a little wider than I'm used to throwing. So I want to get there real early, okay? And a very straight right hand. I don't want to come wide like this because look at his right hand. Throw your right hand. Throw your right hand, right? See, it's right here, right? So I've got to be careful that I'm not going wide on the right hand. It's a wide left hook and a straight right. And I want to keep my left foot on the outside of his right foot this way. Now, another advantage to that is I'm moving to here, looking for that outside position. I'm moving away from his power. There's his power hand, his left hand. So if his left hand is coming in towards me, I'm moving away from it. Throw the left hand at me. Boom, right. I'm moving away from the power. So if you happen to catch me, I'm going with the shot that way. Now, as I work to the left and look for those open shots with the wide left and the straight right, occasionally I'm going to feel like I have my opponent beat. I'm going to step back in front of him and attack him really strong with the right uppercut or the right hand. So there are times that you move to the right on the southpaw, particularly when you're looking for that real strong shot. Now the reason I may step to the right here is because I got a lot of target selection. When I step to the right here, I have the whole body, this deep on the body, in shallow, and of course going to the head. So when I feel like I'm ready to have him off balance a bit, I make that move back in front of my fighter, and I throw the straight right hand this way. So for the most part, I'm looking to my left, I'm moving to the left, I'm trying to keep my feet in position where my left foot is on the outside of his right foot. That's an advantage position, and I can almost, cause my boxer to trip because his feet are going to, run into my foot, and he may fall off balance. Once I've established that pattern, moving to the left and on the outside, when I want to finish my opponent off, I'm going to take a short step to the right and look for my power shot that way. So that's what I want to look for, staying to the outside of my southpaw's foot, using the wide left hand, the super straight right hand, and when I feel like I have my opponent knocked off balance, make that move back in front of my fighter and throw the right uppercut or the straight right. Attack the center of his body, attack him in the center of his face. Okay, so I'm the orthodox fighter. I'm going to be moving around to Alex, and how I'm going to move to my left. So we're just going to move around a little bit, throw some punches. I'm going to be looking for the wide left hook and the straight right. He's going to be looking for the same thing on me. So if you happen to be a southpaw fighter, if you happen to be left side back, take a look at what Alex is doing and use that to teach yourself. So I'm going to move around. I'm going to be looking for the outside position, and he's probably also going to be looking for that outside position. So it's going to move around here, right? You still use your jab, right? It's a little wider on the left hook. Boom, boom. Try and set up that right hand. So you may move that left hook here. Just try to get him to tap that hand on the side and come back with a very straight right hand. So move around here. Right? Just try and keep that distance. Now he's almost on the outside of my foot here, so I'm going to have to move and get back on the outside like that. Now if I feel like I have him beat, here, take a small step and come right down the center. Now even though I took that move to the right, see I'm still on the outside. I'm still trying to control the outside of that foot there. So move around, right, through the left, right, very straight right. Boom. If I think I got him beat here, walk right back in front of him, take that right hand. So when I feel like I have him ready, I want him to walk into my power side, bring my right side around. That's the direction he's going to be moving, let him walk into my power side. Now we're going to go over how to wrap the hands for competition. This is for an amateur competition as required by USA Boxing. When after you wrap the hands, they're going to check your wrist wrap to make sure it's done correctly and nothing is done illegally. And this will protect the other athlete as well as your boxer. Now you want to protect the hand so it doesn't buckle down or buckle back excessively, or even side to side, and you want to protect the thumb. The other thing you want to do is you want to put a little padding over the knuckles here to also protect the knuckles. Hold your hand back like that. Right. Now what you can do when you start is to get a little bit of extra padding built up. So take your 10 yards of gauze. Now these gauze are sold in major boxing magazines everywhere, boxing catalogs, and they're all legal, and they're legal for both the amateurs and generally the professional also. So what we want to do is build a little pad first. So just hold your fingers like this. I'm going to go around about 7-8 times. Okay, so once I get that pad built, I want to place it over the knuckles. Now place it pretty far down. We want to protect these knuckles. Close your fist like that. Right. I want to get that wrap right over the knuckles like this. I don't want to protect the back of the hand with padding. I want to protect the front of the hand with padding. So open the hand up. Build yourself a little bit of pad to give yourself a little extra head start. Now when you start to wrap the hand, you have to be careful that you're not going to wrap anything too tight. You want the blood circulation to be fine. Careful to keep this right over those two knuckles. Now after I get the pad started on the back of the hand, I want to come down here and wrap the wrist. So I'm going to come around the wrist like this. And I'm building sort of an X pattern on the back of the hand, which is going to help keep that hand from buckling. Right, so here I go back over the wrist again. Now don't pull too tight. Now you want to keep it straight, but you don't want to keep it tight, because at the end, if the person's wrist is having blood cut off, it's going to be very uncomfortable for your fighter. You may not have time to rewrap. So you want to take your time to do it right the first time. Now when you go around the thumb, don't strangle the thumb. I don't think you should go all the way 360 degrees around anything. Just go around that thumb on one side, come back like this. Okay, take another wrap around the wrist, come here and catch it from the other side. So we completely encase the thumb, but we're not strangling it, because that's a very sensitive place for him to lose circulation. The other thing he wants to do is clench his hand from time to time so that we can be sure that's a good wrist wrap. Okay, go ahead and open up. All right, go here. Now you're also going to go between the knuckles. So you're going to come up from the thumb side and go between the knuckles like this. Bring it back around the hand like this. Come back around. Now, there's a lot of very good artists who can wrap hands very well. This is just a very basic way to get you started on wrapping hands. Make sure you keep that padding pulled over the knuckles this way. Okay, always going back to that figure eight back of the wrist. Keeping it firm, but I don't want to hurt his wrist this way. Okay, now we're going to go back around the thumb again. Just get a little bit extra there. Now you want to use up the entire wrap, so if you have extra, just come back here, build a little bit more pad on top of the knuckle. And come down here and finish in the back of the wrist. Okay, this is a very basic hand wrap. Now, just before you start applying any tape, make sure that everything is okay. So flex your hand. Okay, does that feel okay? That feels good? All right. Now, the amount of tape you get is very specific. You're going to have 1-inch tape like this, and you're going to get just enough tape to go against the back of the wrist. So you want to find where the joints are. So the top of his wrist right here, and I want the tape to kind of cover a little bit of the wrist, and I want to cover also where the small bones are, just above the big bone of the wrist like this. So what I'll do is I'll cut off a large piece of tape that's easy to work with. Okay, so take your time. Make sure it's right where you want it. Come around the wrist like that. And that's all you get for the back of the wrist. That's just to hold the wrap in place, add a little bit extra support. Now, you're going to get two pieces of tape where you can cross the back, across the back of the hand. So let's turn your hand over this way. Now you can start in here a little bit. Your tape is not allowed to connect across the palm of the hand. We start right like this. Put the tape there, turn your hand over. And I get to draw an X this way. Now I hold it with my thumb real firm so that I'm not going to pull the wrap out of place. On that side, okay, turn your hand over. Okay, so it might see, look again, my tape is not allowed to connect here. I just want to come in about 1 inch on the palm. Just keep it just below where the opposite side of the knuckle is. Turn your hand over. Okay, and then I'm going to get a piece of tape across the back of the hand this way. And that's all you get for amateur boxing. Okay, so it's meant to protect the hand, close your hand, protect the knuckles, okay, but you don't want to form a cast out of it from which you can beat your opponent with. The amateur boxing is a lot different than professional boxing. The safety of both fighters is at hand. When after you wrap the hand and he gets a 10-ounce glove, it's a very padded 10-ounce glove where a lot of the weight is actually on the front of the knuckles to protect both the fighters. That's the amateur hand wrap. That's what required by USA Boxing. Practice your hand wrap a lot with your partner or with your boxer that you're going to have compete. So start taping their hand every day, wrapping with this gauze, have them work out with it, have them get accustomed to it. Learn how to make a nice tight wrap without cutting off circulation, trying to get as much of the padding on the back of the knuckles so they have protected knuckles, and then firm across the back of the hand, and the tape there will hold that in place. And also don't forget the thumb. You want to protect the thumb as well. That's an amateur hand wrap. That's what's legal for USA Boxing. Thank you.